It's for the best.
You're right. We need to protect the citizens. As you can see, making decisions as the president can be extremely stressful sometimes. But the president knows that he signed up for this task. Let's go way back to when President Ambrovich was just a presidential candidate. In just a few days, one of these three candidates will become the President of the United States. Each of these candidates were voted to represent their party in the primary election. The primaries take place state by state on separate days to allow the candidates to campaign to every state beforehand. The Constitution never addressed the primaries because the Founding Fathers thought that each election would be as unanimous as it was when George Washington became president, so it developed over time. The election process starts with the voter.
Utah's collegiate member is now voting.
When citizens go to vote, they are not directly voting for the president. They are voting for electors for their state. More specifically, the votes go towards which candidate the state's electoral votes are given to. The presidential candidate who the majority of the citizens in a state vote upon receives the electoral votes from that state. The Electoral College consists of 538 electors, and in order to become president, a candidate must reach a majority of 270 electoral votes.
Here's Montana. Now for South Dakota. This will happen for all 50 states, or in our case, the 47 that are left.
Once the primaries are completed, a state elector will have been chosen to carry out the wishes of the initial voters.
Once the elector is elected, they will vote for the president of their choice.
Finally, a president is elected through the electoral process. Once the president is elected, he will often first exercise his power as chief executive, appointing new government officials and cabinet members who will lead different federal agencies that enforce laws, such as the Department of Labor, Agriculture, or Education. The president also acts as the main symbolic figure of the United States, signs or rejects legislation through a veto, meaning the bill is sent back to Congress for revision. The entire bill can be vetoed directly, part of the bill can be rejected with a line item veto, and a bill can be automatically rejected with a pocket veto when Congress is not in session and 10 days have passed without the bill being signed. The president is also in charge of U.S. foreign affairs, is the head of his political party, and campaigns for members of his party who support his policies, and helps the economy to run smoothly by helping to manage things like unemployment, taxes, and debt. Right now, the president is fulfilling his duty as commander-in-chief and is deciding whether or not to bomb Switzerland.
Keep in mind, this is a dystopian society and none of the events in this video are based off of current times. Switzerland's Federal Council is elected by the United Federal Assembly. Several meetings are held each year to discuss complex and important issues. At this point, the reason for conflict between the United States and Switzerland was a difference in decision-making in the government. The plural executive, although sometimes successful, proved to be inefficient in this case. The council was plagued by this oil decision so much that they were on the verge of collapse. I saw it coming, so did Thomas Jefferson. While a single executive was in trial in the United States, Jefferson questioned a plural executive. He looked at France's directory setup and was not pleased. All the problems, according to Jefferson, stemmed from the directory itself.
I have a duty to the people to act as their chief and commander, and that's what I'm going to do. We're bombing Geneva.